Wrestling fans, big night, big announcements coming your way. We mentioned a Demolition weekend coming in June, but it's even bigger than that. We have not one, not two, but three great guests that are going to be joining us in studio Thursday, June the 6th, Friday, June the 7th, Saturday, June the 8th, as well as at the New England Fan Fest in Warwick, Rhode Island, Saturday morning, June the 8th. We're talking about the greatest tag team in WWF history, Axe and Smash Demolition, plus joining us on Memories and Legends for the very first time, a gentleman you'll see on Dark Side of the Ring, the Bruiser Brody murder episode, Dutch Mantell, also known as Zeb Coulter. We, the people, you can meet all three of these gentlemen in studio as they join us on Memories and Legends. And if you're in Warwick, Rhode Island for the big fan fest, you can meet them there as well. Check out bostonwrestling.com for complete information. Wrestling fans from around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marty.
And I'm Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
It took him a second.
Always does.
Before we get to this great full-length episode of Memories and Legends, check out some of our great friends you can help support the cause to keep more Memories and Legends coming your way.
Cheer. Why, hello. I would ask what was on your mind, but I already know. You want to know what has got my beard looking oh so majestic. And I'll tell you, it's sexy as hell beard care. Coconut oil, vitamin E oil, almond oil, both sweet and bitter, shea butter, it's all natural. Yes, JTG has actually come out with a high quality product. So support your boy by going to sahbeardcare.com and take one step closer to becoming sexy as hell. Cheer. Ooh, cheer. You know?
The irresistible force meeting the immovable object.
We're friends, Andre, please.
Maybe you'll believe this, Hogan.
You will never, ever see it again.
Austin face to face with McMahon.
Nobody tells Stone Cold Steve Austin what to do or when to do it.
And that's the bottom line.
Neither of these superstars is leaving this match without a few scars.
The story will end with me becoming the Universal Champion.
I don't think I've ever seen two more evenly matched competitors in my life.
WWE's greatest rivalries, available online or wherever books are sold.
Wrestling fans, check out the brand new lapel pin from our friends at Crimson Mask. Inspired by Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon, it's Bang 316. Only $8 each or 2 for $12. If you think it makes a great holiday gift, give me a hell yeah. Get yours today at crimsonmask.bigcartel.com.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans, I'm Dan Marty, joined by
Mr. USA, WWE Hall of Famer, Tony Atlas.
Tony. When the fans watch this, it's going to be available to them just minutes after the Viceland TV episode airs of the murder of Bruiser Brody. You were a big part of that, as well as our good friend Dutch Mantell, a.k.a. Zeb Coulter, who was with us WrestleMania weekend. Tony, let's talk about the experience of being part of this documentary. I thought you came across very honest, very likable. You remembered the story very well, but that couldn't be said for everyone.
Well, I'm kind of happy that finally the Bruiser Brody story could be told by somebody other than me. And I always felt that the most tragic thing that happened to Brody outside of him being stabbed to death in Bayamon, Puerto Rico, was the fact that there was no justice And I almost cry when I hear his son, who talked on Vice TV and said, everybody has a Bruiser Brody story except me.
That was sad.
That was sad. That statement stuck with me. He said, everybody I talk to tells me a Bruiser Brody story, and I don't have one. He was sitting home waiting for his dad to come home, had no idea that he would never see his father again. When his father kissed him and walked out the door, kissed his wife, went to the airport, they had no idea. And there's a lot of things I learned from watching the documentary is the fact that there was money involved. And Brody told one of the people that he knew very closely, said, I'm going to come back with my money even if I have to beat the hell out of all of them. So there was some money involved in that in some type of way. Now, another thing that really, really shocked me about watching was the denial of Abdullah the Butcher to deny the meeting.
Larry Shreve.
Right, that both me and Jed admitted to. We was at a meeting.
Who was the other person?
Jed.
Who's
just talked to
Jed?
him. What is his name? We the people.
Oh, Zeb Coulter.
Coulter.
Jed.
Jed. That's his name, right? Jed?
Zeb.
Zeb. What I call him?
Jed.
Jed Clampett.
Like Jed Bush.
Oh, Jed Bush. No. Well, I call him Dutch Mantel. That's what I do.
We'll call him Dutch.
When you could talk to Dutch, you could talk, if he's still around, Roberto Soto. He was there. The Youngblood, Mark and Jay Youngblood. If you could, somebody go on Facebook or talk to Mark and Jay Youngblood, and they always tell you the exact same thing I told you. We had a meeting in Abdullah room.
Why do you think
Shreve lied? You can ask Sika, because Sika was the one who, the Sika, for y'all that don't know, Sika is the father of Roman Reigns.
Former WWE Tag
Team Champion
Hall
with
of
Captain
Famer.
Lou Albano, and he's a Hall of Famer also. So if you look at Sika, see a picture of Sika in his young days, and you look at his son, they look like twins.
They do look a lot alike.
They look a lot alike. So he was one of the most fierce men in pro wrestling during that time, Sika was. So he said, Tony, I will walk you to the police station.
This is Sika.
Sika. And he walked with me to the police station. Then I hear Dutch say that he went and made a report to the station. Wrong. Only one person went.
Dutch didn't make a report.
He did not make a report. No.
Do you know that to be fact?
Yes.
How do you know that to be fact?
Because his wife said on the documentary that only one American came.
Barbara Goodish.
That's what she said. She said only the police told her only one American came. And I know I went. He didn't go to that station.
Why do you think Abdullah's version was so
Well,
unrealistic?
Abdullah, I also something Abdullah admitted on the tape too, that he admitted, with those that watch it on YouTube can see. He said he owned 5%.
Do you believe that?
Yes.
Why do you believe that?
Because a lot of wrestling was banned into territories at that time. And Brody, see, Gorilla Monsoon had shares. And Brody was supposed to be banned the shares of Gorilla Monsoon. See, the original Puerto Rico was Gorilla Monsoon, Carlos Colon, and Victor Jerica. There was the three owners, where Monsoon shares was up for sale, Mm-hmm. So Brody was promised Monsoon shares. See?
So do you think Brody bought into it at that point?
Yeah, he told me.
He told you?
He told me the day he died. We was at the gym that day, and people don't know this, but Brody and I, we had a big falling out in Texas.
I didn't know that.
We had a big falling out in Texas. In fact, that's how come I was in Puerto Rico, because I went to Texas as Black Superman, and I was tag team with Skip Young. And Earl Emery was there, was his name, and another guy named Brad. Kevin was there, but Kerry was not there because Kerry had just been in an accident and lost his foot.
Right.
And lost his foot. Anyway, what happened was I teamed up with the Dingo Warrior, which is known now to most people as the Ultimate Warrior. But at that time, we called himself the Dingo Warrior. And when Brody took over the book, he did not book me, and he did not book the Warrior. Where the Warrior was going to leave, he had just got a good contract with Japan. McMahon found out about him, and he said, look, if you would give up your Japan contract, let us handle it. He said, I would bring you here. You still can wrestle for Japan, but you would wrestle under a WWE brand because you make more money, which is true. So he went to New York to start his career. I left and I went to Puerto Rico. Then Brody came to Puerto Rico, I would say probably about a month after I left
Texas.
Left Texas. So we was in the gym. I looked at him. He looked at me. Finally, he put the weights down. I said, oh, I hope I don't have to fight this guy. But instead of fighting, he came over, he held his hand out to me. And he said, I want to apologize for what happened to you in Texas. I had nothing to do with that. That was the Von Erich, because Curry was coming back. And what Curry, Tony Atlas, and the Ultimate Warrior had in common?
Physiques.
Physique.
Now, do you believe Brody on that?
Yes.
Do you think he was ordered by Fritz not to book you?
That's how the business was. Like Mr. Fuji, if you Chinese or Japanese, right away,
Hawaiian?
he going to get rid of you. Right off the bat, you got to go, brother. If you was a manager, Captain Lou Albano and Freddie Blassie and the Wizard, you was on their list the moment you walk into the door. That's why in my book, I said the only people I had trouble with in the rest of the world was black people, because the only person who could take Tony Atlas' place is another black guy.
Right.
You know, except if you get me the guy like SD, there was no problem with SD, because SD was there before me, and he knew that the best position he ever been in was with me. So without me, SD felt he didn't have a future.
He was just a jobber.
He would lose a job, and he needed me. He needed to be my partner and all. And I talked about that, and SD did too. In the Hall of Fame, we talked about they kicked him to the curb and put Rocket in his place, which is true. But anyway, me and Brody, we talked. He explained to me what happened. He said, y'all got that physique, and Curry always been the guy with the physique. And he said, both you, this is his word, both you and the Warrior, he called him by his first name.
Jim. Jim Hellway.
He said, both you and Jim make Curry look like shit. He said, that's why we had to get rid of y'all. Y'all both bigger and more powerful looking than Curry, which we were. So then we got to talking and everything, and he said, started walking back to the hotel. He said, you hungry? I go, yeah. So we sat down, and both of us like paella. So we ordered some food, we ate and everything. He was telling me different stuff. And he said, well, Tony, I promise you. He said, things going to be different for you here. He said, there's going to be a lot of changes. I waited, these his words, I waited a long time to get here. So then I went back to the hotel, I took a nap, I left a wake-up call. Wake-up call never came. But somehow something just told me to get up. You know, you just get that feeling just to get up. So I got up. I said, oh shit, I'm gonna be late. So I go downstairs, the guy from the gym wanted to go. I told him earlier that if he take me to the gym, he can get in free.
Give him a free ticket.
He don't have to pay. He come in with me.
Because you
come
got
into the dress room and meet the boys. I was gonna give him the VIP treatment.
You got into the gym for free.
Yeah, well, he let us work out for free, so I'm gonna give him return the favor.
Took care of him.
So I called him up. I said, oh man, I'm sorry, I overslept. He said, I figured you forgot about me. I said, oh no. I said, I'm getting up now. I said, just meet me out front. So I grabbed my bag, I run downstairs. When I get downstairs, Brody and Dutch Mantell, Bruiser Brody and Dutch Mantell, is sitting on the steps. And I gave Brody a ride to the building. But it always amazed me. I should have thought, why will Jose, the booker, leave his main eventer at the hotel?
At the hotel. Now, why do you think he left him at the hotel?
I think they were going to do it to him there.
They were going to off him at the hotel.
Yeah, I think they had people to come by to take care of him there.
Do you think?
I don't think it was going to be with him and Jose.
With that,
after the show, they were going to go back to the hotel and do it. I don't think they want him at the building.
With that theory that you have, how do you think it wound up happening that Jose Gonzalez stabbed him in the locker room? Why wouldn't it have made sense maybe to wait another day as opposed to doing it that night in a locker room?
The locker room and the ring, believe it or not, is the best place.
Now, why is that?
Because everybody thought wrestling was fake. So they all thought it would be part of the.
They thought it was a
show.
work.
That's right.
Interesting. And
Well, plus they did it right at the beginning while the people was coming in.
right. That was a.
That's why it took 45 minutes for the ambulance to get in the building.
Especially in an area like that.
Got one way in there and one way out, and the ambulance is backed up in traffic.
Well.
And they had this story all planned out. They had it planned out that a wrestling fan did it. And I'm not trying to blow my own horn, but the only reason that anybody knows anything about what happened to Brody is because of me.
Not Dutch.
No. How are they going to know about him? He became the booker later.
And that was kind of interesting, too. There were a lot of fans that emailed us.
Why would he jump out of his job?
Well, I hope to have Dutch in studio sometime soon with us. But
I don't know Dutch's story, about it or nothing. I listened to his story, but I do know that he became the booker later. I'm not saying Dutch had anything to do with it. I really, really doubt that he did. But I do know that nobody went to that station with me. Nobody. And when I came back to the dressing room, the policeman told me out of his own mouth, said everybody, he didn't leave nobody out. He said everybody in here told me the same story. I said, what's that story? He said that a wrestling fan did it.
You don't think it's possible that maybe Dutch went to the police after you? No. I would have liked to have seen a gentleman...
Because if he had, he would have told his wife, the police would have told his wife, that 2 American wrestlers came down. But she didn't say that. He said 1. Uno. And if he had went, do you think he would have been the booker?
Well, that's what the conspiracy theorists out there...
Do you think he would have been the booker if he had went to the police? Are they going to hire him? Yeah, right. Now, if he was a witness against Vince, you think Vince going to give him a job?
Right.
All right, common sense.
Were you surprised that a gentleman that you know very well, someone that I have a respect for and have met a couple of times, a man we'd like to have here in the studio, Savio Vega, then known as TNT, I'm surprised he wasn't involved. I think he would have had some insight to it, where he tried to help you.
Where he lives there.
Right.
He's not on the document.
What do you mean?
Even though I mentioned him.
No, I thought it would have been nice if he was featured in the documentary.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But I think he probably declined.
Oh, that's possible.
He lives there.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I can read between the lines.
Yeah. He lives there. That'll stir up a whole new hornet's nest.
Well, Tony, let me ask you this. There was a perception in wrestling around the time I broke in with Tony Rumble that the reason you went to Maine was because you were hiding from the Puerto Rican mafia. That's why you were living in a YMCA, and maybe you could, I know we've discussed it before on different shows, but maybe you could set the record straight about that, where there are going to be fans seeing this the night of the Viceland special on TV. There are people, just to set the record straight for fans that don't know, Tony wound up homeless in Maine for a period of time in the early 90s.
Yeah.
And there was a belief by some that Tony avoided being subpoenaed to go to trial, and he went on the lam hiding up in Maine. Tony, set the record straight.
What ended up happening, there was a promoter in the Northeast that used to work with Vince Sr. His name was Angelo Savoti. And he was the promoter for the Northeast, Cape Cod, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire. He had a few little shows up here. So when Angelo retired, Vince bought everybody out. The only person that did not sell to Vince was Angelo Savoti. He wanted to keep his territory to give to his son, Mario Savoti. So when Mario heard about all the stuff that was going on with me in Puerto Rico, because I was still living in Texas. I was going back and forth from Texas to Puerto Rico.
Right.
And Mario found out that I was not working anywhere. So Mario said, what you going to do, kid? I said, I don't know, Mario. He said, well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you come up here? I don't have a big territory, but I could guarantee you 4 days a week, and I could guarantee you $1,500 a week, which is $75,000 a year.
Pretty good guarantee for a small promotion.
He worked 4 days a week and TV. So it was 4 shows a week. He ran from Thursday. He did Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That was, and on Wednesday we do taping, voiceover for all his video. Remember he had all the videos?
Yeah, he did a lot of videos.
And I had to go do voiceovers and all this stuff, do the voiceover. And anyway, make a long story short, so me and, what was this guy named? Vic Steamboat, which is Ricky Steamboat brother.
Yep.
Was me, Vic Steamboat, and a Canadian guy. I can't remember his name. But we all left Texas the same night to go work for Mario Savodi. Well, Mario was doing real good. Then Mario, for some odd reason, decided to run the Augusta Civic Center. Well,
big mistake in those days.
We sold it out. It was me, Alvin Puskett, Bob Orton Jr. was working for Mario at that time, so he had some good talent.
Good talent,
Puskett had his son was there.
Somewhat fresh from WWE.
Yep. So you had me, Puskett, and Orton. Vince called and told him, if you use that Tony Atlas and you use Puskett, I will put you out of business.
Wow.
Mario said, no, Tony's my friend, Puskett my friend. I need these guys, they're my biggest draw. Me and Puskett, that's when I was doing the bad guy. I was a heel.
Yes.
Tony was my manager then.
Right.
Remember?
Yep,
He was my manager.
I do.
And I wore the Dungeon Master suit. That was Tony's suit, the Dungeon Master. He gave me his suit, and I wore his suit. That became the new Dungeon Master. I even under a mask that Tony unmasked me there in Cutchers. So anyway, Mario would book a show on, like, let's say on a Saturday. Vince would come in and book a show Friday.
And have it run extra long to wear the fans down, do not want to go and see another show the next night. That was commonplace.
And finally, the 4 bookings a week went down to 1. Then it went down to 1 booking a month.
Wow.
And I wasn't getting booked. So I went out to try to find myself some work. I had no talent. I had no ability out here in the real world. The only thing I knew I do was lift weights and wrestle. I never did nothing else my whole life. I started wrestling, training for wrestling when I was 19. I was in the ring when I was 20. I knew nothing else. And then I've been out of the real world for so long that everything was strange to me. I mean, they didn't have cell phone and computers and stuff like they do now, but still, it was still strange what I'm going to do to make a living. So I couldn't find a job. I was staying at the YMCA. My money ran out. When my money ran out, the guy at the YMCA said, Tony, you got to leave. I went and I slept in the park. And that's how it ended up happening. Mario Savodi is the one that brought me up. Me, Vic Steamboat, and I wish I could think of the other guy's name. It was 3 of us. He sold us plane tickets because we all were leaving Texas because I wasn't making money in Texas. They were just using me for TV. They kept me off all the house shows. They kept me on TV, though, but not the house show. And I was flying in and out of Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is where I make my bulk money from.
Right.
So when the Puerto Rico thing left, now I'm just left with Texas and the TV.
Yeah.
You know, I can't live on $300 a week.
Now,
but that's what they paid back there for TV taping was $300 for the taping.
Did Carlos Colon try and ever get you back to Puerto Rico to wrestle? I know you went back in 2010. He tried to get me back the day I left. Really?
But not after that. The day I left, he tried to get me back.
Now, what happened the day he left? He left.
Called me and said, brother, you desert us. I said, man, brother, you stabbed Brody to death in the dressing room. I should have left earlier. Yeah, that was our conversation. And I never went back for him until 2010.
How did that conversation end, Tony?
With Carlos?
Yeah. Did he want you to still come back at that point?
He said I had nothing to do with that. He said, I'll send you a ticket when you come back and finish the tour.
Now, I know you were warned by Savio that you were in danger at that point. Do you think they would have talking? Do you think they would have killed you if you went back? Really?
Of course. Of course. I was the only witness.
Did you wrestle any more shows after the night of the murder or not? Did you leave right?
Not for Carlos. I left. We left. We did the show the night of the murder by your home.
I remember that.
Abdullah called a meeting the next day.
Yeah.
To boycott the rest of the tour. That was at the beginning of the tour. We only been there for about 2 or 3 days, you know, and we normally stay a week or 2.
Right.
At least 10 days, you know. and they boycotted the rest of the show.
So your last match there until 2010 was the night of the murder?
The night of the murder. Never
Okay,
wrestled
just wanted to
there.
clarify that, too.
And then I left the next morning. I was going to go to bed the next day. Savio said, no, Tony, don't go up there. He said, I got your bag. He said, they are looking for you because you talking.
Now, did you notice anything suspicious the day after around the hotel?
Well, see, here's the thing.
Were you worried the day after? Or?
Of course.
You were, okay.
Yeah, I'm running my mouth. See, here's the thing you got to realize about being in a strange country.
Mm-hmm.
People, like if I'm in Guatemala, Central America.
Yeah.
I walk up and I give some addict $20. I say, you want this $20 American money? They go, yeah. I say, go stab that guy.
They'll do it. So they could have found a quote-unquote mercenary anywhere to try and do the job.
They didn't have to do it themselves.
Is there any part of you that regretted not going back for so long?
No, I'm still living.
You know, that's a very good point.
I'm
It's
living.
a very good point.
I don't think I'd be here to tell the story if I went back.
If they called you today.
And that's in the documentary. Well, today, yes, I will go back.
If Carlos Colon called you today, you'd go
Right.
down.
Well, here's the reason why. People can only do something to you if you know that it's not going to be done. If Brody had known what they had planned for him, it would have never happened.
He would have been prepared.
He would have been prepared.
You'd be prepared.
I'd be prepared.
Well, we hope that doesn't happen. Tony.
Yeah, I'll be prepared. When I went back in 2010, I went to the airline. I told them I have a gun in my bag. I filled out some paperwork. I put my gun in my bag. When I got in the cab going to the hotel, I took the gun out my bag.
Really? You had it on you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My mom didn't raise no fool.
And what was your interaction like with Jose Gonzalez?
Believe it or not, it was shocking.
Why?
He came up, hey, brother, I miss you. How you been? They shook my hand.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what he said. And who was with me? Kendall Wyndham. Kendall?
Kendall.
Kendall.
Yeah.
Yeah, Black Jack Mother's
Barry's
son.
brother, yeah.
He kind of like, what the fuck was that all about? I said, I don't know.
And how many shows did you work in 2010? Just the one?
It was his anniversary.
Right, but was it just
I
that
think it
one
was
show?
4 shows.
Oh, 4 shows.
I think it was, yeah.
So were you nervous down there that week?
No.
Because you had the gun?
I had my piece.
Did you sleep with the gun?
No.
Where was the gun? What if someone came in your room?
If they came into my room, I would have went and got my gun out my bag.
You kept the gun in the bag?
Yep, my bag right by my bed. See, you got a dresser. You're not most guys. We keep everything in one spot.
Right.
So that when we leave.
I still do that.
Yeah, I
Yep,
still do
yep,
that.
yep,
So
yep,
when you
yep,
leave,
yep,
you don't
yep,
leave nothing.
yep,
So I don't have something over here and something over there. But I open my bag up. You know, got that little thing you fold out. I put my bag on it. I open my bag up. And when I take something out, I take it out of the bag. I put it back in the bag. So like if I got my workout clothes, I take my workout clothes. I go to the gym and work out. When I get back, I roll them up. I put my workout clothes right back where. And that way, when it's time for me to go, I don't spread stuff. I see guys, I stay in the room, they leave their toothpaste, their soap, all this stuff in the bathroom. When I brush my teeth or do a shave, I take my toothpaste, my razor and everything, and I put it right back in my little kit there. I don't leave it on the sink. I don't leave nothing, because I have walked out and left stuff before. And that's why my gun
It's not a good thing.
No, and my gun was in a holster, and it was not loaded. No.
Oh, it wasn't loaded?
No, well, I had a Glock, so I keep the magazine out.
Oh, all right.
And all I got to do is, in a minute, she's ready to go.
Tony,
But I don't have it laying there with the magazine. I always take the magazine out. That case, if somebody do break in and grab it, they can't, and I make sure it's not in the chamber. They grab it.
They can't grab it and shoot you.
Right, they can't grab because I got the magazine. And then what I did, maybe funny, I take the back of the chair, put it underneath the doorknob.
Oh, Tony, I
So
tell
they
you,
have to make a lot of noise getting in
to
there.
get in that room,
Oh,
right?
they got to be able to climb up the side, all the way get the top floor.
All right. Do you think Carlos Colon's reputation would have been helped if he participated in the documentary?
Well, as you well know from the document, he declined the interview. He did a little bit of it.
Well, that wasn't part of the documentary. That was from a shoot interview that was done many years ago. They just took a couple of clips from it.
Oh.
That wasn't part, no, that wasn't shot by the folks that made it.
Oh.
So do you think it would have helped Carlos's perception nowadays if he spoke in the documentary?
No.
No, you don't?
No.
Why?
I think Carlos' biggest fear, that what's going to happen to Jose, and I think going to happen after this. I really do. O.J. Simpson, I wasn't there, I don't know. But from what I've seen here on the television, got away with murder. I don't know. I'm telling y'all, I don't know. But from what I have seen, he got away with murder. Mm-hmm. Now, he would have been all set, except for there's one thing in American law that I don't know is in Puerto Rico law. He had another trial for wrongful death.
I see what you're saying.
See what I'm saying? Brody trial was one-sided. He did not have a defense. There was no defense. Dutch Mantel stated he got the subpoena months after the contest, weeks after the trial.
Right,
Weeks after the trial, he gets the document. I never received anything. They never even sent me one.
So you think
I found out about the trial when it was over. When I found out about it, you know, I was watching TV one time, and I think it was even Rumble that probably told me, said, Tony, you know that guy got away? And I said, what guy? He said, Jose. I'm almost positive Tony Rumble is the one that told me that Jose got away with it. Because I was living up in Maine when they had the trial. I was already in Maine. You know, and I told them where I was at. They had Mario's number. So Mario told the police, and I told Mario where I was at, that I'm going to have to go for this trial and everything. So they had no problem. I was on TV every day with ICW.
They could find you if they needed to.
There was no problem. Right. You know, I was on TV, you know, with Mario.
So do you think maybe they're worried that Mrs. Goodish would file a wrongful death claim against them and take their riches, I imagine?
She should. There's no statute of limitation on murder.
Tony, before we go, anything that was missing from that documentary that you would have liked to have seen included?
First, I would have loved for Jose to have made some statements, and Carlos, or Victor Jericho. There was nobody on that other team had anything to say.
Right.
Which made me suspicious. The only way that you're going to find out what I think, and if she's listening, she should get herself a lawyer.
Mrs. Goodish?
Where her son, they should find a lawyer and file a wrongful death. That should be retried. Brody didn't get a trial. He got no justice for that.
No, he did not.
And for those that don't know what happened, I was drawing a picture of Mark and Jay Youngblood. Brody walked over. He had a pouch in his hand, suitcase in his hand, both hands full. He said, Tony, I didn't know you could draw like that. Can you do a picture of my son? I go, yes, I can. I said, I'm almost finished with this one. I said, give me the picture. I get started on it tonight. I have it finished before you leave. He said, oh, that'd be great. He said, I want to take home. He couldn't wait to, you know, I could see his face light up. He said, oh, will my boy be surprised when I show him this?
Yeah, wouldn't that have been nice?
Yeah, it would have been nice. So anyway, he had a picture in his hand. Jose, who earlier was sitting in a football huddle with Carlos and Jericho, got up and left out of the dressing room. When he came back into the dressing room, he had a towel hanging over his hand, a towel. He said, Brody, can I talk to you, please? Por favor. Brody go, sure. Just like that, sure. He turned. He walked toward the shower. I'm about as far from here to you from that shower. He turned. One foot went in the shower. The sucker foot went in the shower. Brody holler. There was no argument, no discussion, no fight. Brody walked in.
That was it.
He turned around. I thought he punched him at first because I saw him turn. When he turned, he hit him in the stomach, drug that thing across. Brody said, "Ugh!" Just like that. But he didn't bend over it. And I looked up. I said, what in the hell? Then he hit him again. Boom! Ripped it. Brody go, "Ugh!" Then he bent over. By instinct, no thought. I didn't move out to have nothing. I just came right up out of my seat. Arms around it, yanked it back. As I yanked it back, I looked up, his eyes, the white part of Jose's eyes was bloodshot red.
Wow.
Red. I mean, just red like fire. The knife came down. As I was pulling Brody back, he had that ponytail. Ponytail hit the floor.
You cut his hair off?
Cut ponytail off. Brody said, don't let them hurt me anymore. I'm hurt. I said, come on over here, brother. I said, I'll protect you. I said, come on, you gotta lay down. I gotta get out of here. I said, Brody, come on, lay down. I said, I'm not gonna leave you alone. I'm gonna protect you. So I got him lay down on the floor there. Yeah. There was no argument. The man said, Brody, can I talk to you? Very nice. Brody turned very nicely and said, yes. Brody ate dinner at his house the night before. They rode together the night before.
Do you think possibly it could have been done that night?
I think his murder was planned. This guy went
Oh,
out.
I'm sure.
This guy went out, brother, and got a knife and walked back in.
How big was the knife? Do you it was, wow.
Yeah, butcher knife looked like a butcher knife.
Do you think Gonzalez would have charged at you when you tried to help Brody?
No.
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 Because you were prepared for it.
I was prepared.
I got you. Before we go, Tony, what did you think of the reenactments? I thought they were very well done.
That's about the best thing I've seen. But I tell you, a lot of wrestling fans going to be pissed off about this because they got to see something that they didn't even think existed. You could look at all the wrestlers in the world. You ain't never seen nobody like that. And the way he used to go out there and people with that chain.
Like I said, I was a little...
He come out swinging that long ass chain. And if you in the way, he hit you.
Yep.
You remember that scene they showed with the Japanese guys on the apron and Brody came and hit him? That chain wrapped around his ass. You know he hit him for real.
Yeah.
Brody didn't play. When he hit you with a chair, you see these other guys put the dent? Mm-hmm. Brody, when he hit you, that chair would fold around your head.
Yep.
You think this man is trying to fight you for real. And then he throw guys in a rope, and he would just raise back and kick you right in the freaking... He kicked one Japanese guy, you see him in a thing, knocked his ass through the rope, knocked him out of the ring with that kick. Guys would go, I'm not going in the ring with him. Guys were scared to get in the ring with Brody. I mean, this guy was it was like a transformation, and he wouldn't stop, like a machine. He didn't blow up. He was like a machine. He would go up in the audience and throw people around. There's another scene where he's fighting with the fans. I don't know if you noticed. And one guy swung at him and missed. And as he turned to run away, Brody cocked him in the back of the head and knocked him out. You saw that?
I don't remember that.
Knocked his ass out, brother. Brody would knock people out.
I'm glad that the...
You ask any other wrestler. We used to fight with the fans, Brody would. Because he goes in that audience, and he be going in the audience, start knocking people out in the audience. I mean, this guy was a brute, man. You watch them tape, that was Brody. And half of the dressing room was afraid of him because he would fight in a drop of hat. He was known for fighting. He was ex-Marine and all that stuff, college football player. I mean, pro. He played pro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was a hell of an athlete, great shape, big guy, but a nice person. Outside the ring, but once that bell rang, it was almost like the Incredible Hulk. You got Bruce Banner outside the ring, but as soon as that bell rang,
you got the Hulk.
You got the Hulk. Man.
I tell you, he was one of my favorites when I first started watching as a little kid. In the first wrestling deaths, my first memory of wrestling deaths were getting a Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazine later in 1988, and in the back it was a 2-page spread, as Brody's murder took place just a couple of weeks after Adrian Adonis drove off of the mountain in Canada. So I was really taken aback, and I really didn't know the full story. Obviously, the Wrestling magazine wasn't going to tell that type of a story in 1988, but I think Viceland did a great job, and the fans loved the series.
Job.
Were they good to you?
They were fantastic to me. Absolutely fantastic. They are a great group of kids, and they worked their butt off. They came up and spent a week with the wife and I, and went out to dinner. They got to see my plays, seeing all my trophies. They looked at a couple of my tapes and stuff, So
those tapes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Tony, unbelievable. I hope the folks that watched the Viceland special enjoyed our little follow-up to it.
The 24th of April. April 24th will be the debut.
You got it. All right. For Tony Atlas, I'm Dan Marty. We'll be back after this brief timeout.
See the moments
Generation X invades WCW.
you'll always remember. Like never before.
Occupy Raw has taken over.
With Raw, the first 25 years, packed with rare photos, profiles of your favorite superstars, and so much more. From the very first Raw to the 25th anniversary, it's the ultimate guide to WWE's flagship show. Raw, the first 25 years. Available now.
They're ready to take their rightful place amongst the literary greats. Who, you ask?
The New Day!
That's who. It's the Book of Booty. Shake it, love it, never be it. It's the feel-good story of the rise of the New Day. Loaded with games, trivia, coloring pages, and so much more. The Book of Booty. Shake it, love it, never be it. Available now, online, or wherever books are sold.
All right, fans, welcome back. Before we go, I wanted to mention that this great print of Tony Atlas's original Bruiser Brody drawing is going to be available on eBay. You can either have the drawing as is, an 11 by 17, suitable for framing, or you can have it autographed by Tony. The price is the same. Tony's very proud of this, and I'd like to have it permanently be a part of our set. Again, folks, we just wanted to remind you a lot of big things are happening. Continue to visit BostonWrestling.com. We have the second chapter of the Millennium Wrestling Federation in-ring action unfolding as we speak. We have a big Demolition weekend to look forward to in June. The eBay store, as we mentioned, Tony, and that Patreon, it's still kind of in soft launch, but there's so much great material on there, full length, unedited. You got to check it out. Patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. And again, it helps us keep the lights on. If we don't have you guys help us keep the lights on, Tony, you and I are going to go dark.
Well, y'all don't want to turn the lights on me because y'all not be able to see me unless I smile.
All right.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
I got it. Yeah. Wah, wah. For the Hall of Famer, Tony Atlas, I'm Dan Marty.
Politically correct people.
Don't miss our brand new Memories and Legends Money in the Bank weekend. The topic, we talk about the celebrities that Tony Atlas has worked with in the past and got to know. It's a great episode. Downtown, underground Atlanta, here we come. Be well.